Obviously, great, gritty, tough team win. Going on the road, like we talked about last week, is hard. Something that good teams do. Obviously, tremendous effort by our defense. Stepped up time and time again in a really huge way, right? Because of the effort of that side of the ball, really gave the whole organization a chance to win. And I thought the offense in critical moments when we had to respond in the opening drive to get points, we did that. And then after, a bunch of things where we are inches away from maximizing opportunities and being able to execute at a high level and fighting our way through that and pulling together and responding. It was like, all right, we get the ball back and we have an opportunity, right? And so the guys did a great job responding in that moment, going on a drive, setting up special teams to put the ball through the pipes. Gabe did a tremendous job on all the kicks. I thought special teams did a good job in most areas of, creating some momentum, obviously flipping the field, obviously in a huge field position game like that, pinning them as far away from the goal line and scoring opportunities as possible. But, disappointed in that phase of the game where we have so many guys who have played so much ball for us, where we continue to make some foolish and immature mistakes with penalties and different things that we cannot have and that we need to clean up. So luckily we got a short week here. It's good to get back into it. And yesterday the guys did a great job coming back, let them sleep in a little bit with the travel and everything, but then got back here in the building yesterday. So yesterday was really like our mashup day of Sunday and Monday to put the NIU game to bed, to put non-con behind us, and then to turn the page and to start the preparation on the Rams. Good team, dangerous team, battling through some things themselves with injuries, but man, have been close against some really, really good opponents and are right there, and they're dangerous, right? So we got to have a great week of preparation on the short week. The guys had great energy, great attitude, went about the work the right way this morning. And, so need them to continue to do that. Need our city to continue to show up for us. I mean, there was a tremendous opportunity against Cal, and there was a direct correlation that you can make from the energy, the enthusiasm, the number of people that were in the stands to the impact that they had on the game. So great opportunity this Friday night for our city, for the community, for the school, for the student body to come out, to pack Snapdragon, and to continue the party that we started a couple weeks ago as we continue to roll through the season together with conference play kicking off against a really good Colorado State team.
What would you say was the main issue on the short yardage stuff on offense?
Yeah, we lost gap integrity, right? And so there's on both those plays where we came up short, we ran the ball, right? We didn't maintain our gap integrity, and there's going to be run-throughs. We got to anticipate backers playing fast downhill in those situations, and we hung a little bit too long on our level one threat and didn't come off and maintain our gap integrity on that. So saw it, learned from it, right? Know that we'll be better because of it. It's something that we've been emphasizing. Coach Smith's been talking to, and we've been getting away with some things a little bit with it, which is how heavy we've been leaning on level one. And, again, like at this point, as you go, your tape's your resume, right? And people are going to see different things. And so you got to, again, have the humility to know, like, all right, the test from results, right? Like there's a process that needs to be top of mind in each of those situations, in those critical moments, and that each down's important, but the urgency in each situation is not the same, right? And so we'll learn from that. We'll get better because of that. But, yeah, we just, had some run-throughs because we lost our gapping integrity on those plays.
You've done some under center stuff at the goal line,
Yep.
Maybe some sneaks in the past. Is that something that could be kind of an improvement on that?
Yeah, I mean, that's what we got to at the end of the game, right? And so we were able to change our substitution package right there at the end of the game and knew that we were in a spot where we wanted to just advance the ball a little bit more. And I thought the staff did a tremendous job and the kids did a tremendous job of how we managed that timeout and having the personnel in the huddle. And then because of the way that we managed that and our kids executed that, right? Like, it's something that doesn't show up on the stat sheet in a big-time way, but it turns out being a offsides or an illegal substitution, or however they put it down, it's like, well, then you get the first down because we managed that the right way, but we were getting under center in that situation. It's obviously something that we used, early on in the season, and it's something that we'll continue to explore and use to our advantage if we feel it gives us a competitive advantage for sure.
You give their defense any credit on the
Yeah, they played. Yeah, they did a heck of a job. Absolutely, but I don't control their defense, right? Like I control the guys that are in this building. I shouldn't even say that. I work to influence the guys that are in this building, and I work to create an environment to where the guys in this building that I am responsible for see the opportunities that we left out there. But yeah, guys, we talked a week ago, right? Like the amount of respect that I have for that program, how hard it is to go into that place and win, especially coming off of the tremendous high that we had for our guys to refocus and to go from one extreme to the other, right? And that shows the maturity and the growth of our team. I mean, it wasn't that long ago, right? Like, we went on the road, we met some adversity, we didn't respond, we didn't pull together, and we saw how that went, right? So we talk about, hey, constantly improving, constantly competing, improving our best on a daily basis. Like, yeah, that's not the outcome, it's not the score that we want to be on the board, right? But at the end of the day, we found a way to score one more point than them, and the defense did a great job of limiting the opportunities as well. So I'm going to obsess about that and continue to influence the guys here as best I can. Coach Hammock runs a tremendous program, and I think that team, as they get into conference play, is going to make some hay.
Question about your defensive metrics are so impressive. Is there some intangible that Rob has brought from a creative point defensively that's added on to what he inherited?
Yeah, I think his ability to allow the players to play free, to play clean, and to play fast, right, to allow them to play has been great. And it's something that, we saw with his development and in the way that he coached up the rushes, taking a young man in Trey White last year, right, who had never played the position, and giving him a set of tools, giving him a set of rules within the set of calls that Trey really knew, like, kind of, hey, like, within this call, you can go this far right, you can go this far left, and within those parameters of the call, with the tools that I've given you, go solve the problem, right? So that Trey didn't have to be a robot. The edges last year didn't have to be a robot. And I think you see that through all of our defense right now. Like, they understand the intent of the call. They understand why we're calling it in the situations that we are. And they know that the support that they have on the boundary gives them the freedom and the confidence to cut it loose and go play fast. And so I think, again, like a lot gets made about, hey, Aztec fast as just our style of offensive play. Like, guys, that's our identity and our brand for our program, right? To where those guys are focused, they're intentional, they're accountable to the call, they're playing smart, making good decisions. And, man, they're a tough unit, right? Like, they're a hard out. And what I loved about them, right, like, no matter where they what positions they were put in on Saturday, because we didn't put them in some great positions, right? It was like, okay, like, put the ball down. Like, let's go play, right? I mean, they work their tails off there and, get off the field. Punt block team goes out there. We jump off sides. We have a face mask penalty and, gift them another set of downs. It's like that's another turnover, right? Like, so now the defense has to go back out. Okay, buckle it back up. So what, now what? Like, guys' demeanors were great. Chests were held up high. And, again, they're able to go play fast, play confident within the structure of the defense and play together.
Coach, what do you see from Colorado State? Both of you have played Washington State. Is that an advantage, having the common opponent like that?
I mean, a little bit. You got a good idea, right? But again, like, you can tell that, they're multiple in their scheme. Man, they're aggressive on defense. They'll blitz you from all over. Doesn't matter where you are, and it's all varieties of it. They've had some injuries to some of their key guys offensively, and kind of really don't know the status of what that is. I guess we'll learn a little bit more here in the next 48 hours as we all put forth our first availability report, which will be neat. And then, kind of have a better idea of what that is. But Coach Norvell does a tremendous job. Had a chance to compete against him, a couple of years ago when I was at CU, and obviously was in a dogfight with him then. So those guys are going to be prepared. I mean, they're a competitive group, and he's built a strong culture there as well. So they're going to come down here. They're going to fight. It's a good reset, I think, for everyone, no matter what your record is when you get into conference play, right? So, we got to bring our A game, and we got to, again, that leads to the preparation and all the work that needs to get done typically in 7 days, now it needs to get done in 6. So again, it's that response. It's that so what, now what approach, right? Like, either you point to that and you look to that like, woe is me, or you lean into it and you embrace it and realize like, oh yeah, this is a little bit more challenging than the normal prep week, but these are the fun moments that we signed up for, right? So let's go do it together.
Coaches probably don't even want to tell you what day it is if you ask them. What went into the availability report in your guys' talks as coaches, and what's the benefits or negatives to that?
Yeah, I mean, as we went round and round about it all and everything, right? Like, we have our media day at the world's largest sports book, right? Like, it's just the game's evolving, the environment is evolving, and also, right, like, at the end of the day, like, you want to know who's in, who's out, who's questionable, and at the end of the day, that's all that we're going to do. So I think you get a bunch of smart people in the room, and everyone has a different set of ideas as you're trying to like cook up the recipe for our league that makes it best. And as we shared the idea, as it came to the surface that, hey, what we came to, it was like we kind of looked at each other like, this will be right. Like a nice little chef's kiss, right? Like here, it's where we're at. It's not necessarily what some of the big boys supposedly are doing, right? But it's not nothing, and it shows how we can continue to innovate, we can adapt, we can overcome, and we can share some information and know like we're doing it anyways, right? Like we're setting the travel roster and right, like it's there. And then also I think, again, just knowing the reality of what it is, right? Like we're here to serve the kids. So if we take the ownership and the onus upon ourselves to put that information out there, then some of the nefarious characters that try and get to our kids and try and influence them behind the scenes, because there's so much money involved in the legalized sports gambling across our country right now, like it protects our kids because the information is out there. So we'll release that availability report, help insulate our kids a little bit. And again, like I just think that's, be a nice pizza pie. It's good.
So how much can you really glean from what they put out? Or, I mean, you guys have probably some pretty good intel already. How much more can you glean from what they put out?
Yeah, I mean, we'll kind of learn, right? I mean, you kind of see it with the conferences that are already doing it, where some guys are, I don't know if right or wrong is the right way, but like above board or not, right? Like where then fines are coming down because of the pattern of behavior for how guys are using their availability reporting. But again, like we got tremendous guys in this league, in this conference, right? And tremendous leadership as well, to where like, okay, at the end of the day, like let's not make this burdensome. Like let's put the information out there. We all have the tape. We all have Chat GPT that we can, hey, is Kirk Kenny going to be at the press conference? Like we can, like that's a part of, right? Like use all the tools that are out there. Like that's a part of our process right now. Like, I mean, a couple of weeks ago, it was funny, like there was a young man who wasn't dressed in the previous game before we played. I called one of the GAs in like back in the day, and I'm like, hey, like go scour the internet, check and see if so-and-so is going to be available to play. And I was like, wait a second, hang on. And I logged on Chat GPT, and like, hey, is so-and-so going to be ready to play against the Aztecs? And it compiles every single interview, and then it was like 30-second problem. And it's like, yep, he's available. He practiced yesterday. Coach said it here. I'm like, don't worry about it. Go figure out something else to do right now. Like, I solved that. So it was accurate. So it's not a big enough sample size, but it's like, all right, we have this tool, and I don't know how to use it. Luckily, the GAs do, so now they're, going with it. But it's like, all right, let's use it all. And now we have the availability report, and, again, we'll see as we go through the season, like, all right, that information, you can glean something from it. That information, we'll see.
And then what, 3 hours before you have to report again, before kickoff?
Yeah, I believe that's what it is, right?
What more does that tell you they're gonna think?
More availability or less availability. Game time decisions. We'll see. I mean, it'll be fun. Come on board. Let's all go on this ride together. Into the great unknown.
So you're only required to do it for conference games. Is there consideration to do it for the non-conference games?
We got some practice reps of it for non-con, but it wasn't publicly available.
You mean with the other coaches or internally?
No, I'm a reps guy, Andre. So we just did it internally, make sure that we're on. Because we don't get it turned in on time. There's a fee associated with that. And that ain't coming out of the school's budget.
What's the deadline?
I think it's 48 hours before. I don't know. I got it listed somewhere. It's not due today. I can tell you that. I'm worried about today, which is actually a Tuesday, even though it's here Monday. So I know it's not due today.
You guys obviously got close so that the winning field goal was only 25, but how comfortable would you have been sending Placencia out there, like distance-wise, for that winning kick?
60. He could get it there. Right, like that's a gotta-have-it situation, right? So, like, I mean, he's made kicks 61, 62 in practice. Now the wind had flipped. That was fun. Right? We kind of managed the coin toss. We actually won a coin toss. That was neat. Had the wind go in the proper direction. And then halfway through the fourth quarter, the wind changed. So I think Coach Barton's heart skipped a beat on that a little bit. And I was like, hey, can't control that. We'll get closer for you.
How has he grown as a kicker since last year when you were rotating him back and forth?
He hasn't missed a kick since we've made him the guy. He's been really, really consistent. He's remained very humble, so he's probably going to get this soundbite. Someone's going to send it to him, and, I'm going to have to tear him back down so I can build him back up again, right? But, no, I mean, he's been in our leadership council. He's a guy that we know that we can trust intimately, and the consistency that he has shown day in and day out has been tremendous, right? And that's all that we ask for. Like, we want our guys to be who they are each and every single day. You know, as a game manager, as a play designer, as a play caller, like, you just want to know who your guys are going to be, right? Like, I often equate it to a game of chess, right? Like, I can sit down anywhere in the world and get my butt kicked in chess, but I at least know how the pieces on the board are going to move. Doesn't mean I'm any good at it, but I know how the pieces on the board are going to move, right? And it's the same thing, like, when you walk in the building and you see everyone, like, again, like we've talked about this, like, I kind of know from the people in here, like, how you guys are going to move and shake. You guys kind of know how I'm going to move and shake, and I want to know that for my kids as well, right? Like, I know Gabe, like, there's no moment too big everywhere that we've put him out. He's put ball to foot and put it through the pipe, so that's pretty cool.
Ohio State's gone through 2 quarterbacks already this season. How do you prepare for that? Do you prepare for both? Do you prepare?
Yeah, I mean, you have to prepare for both of them, right? And we had a rep at that earlier in the season with Wazoo, and obviously they're 2 different kids and everything. You know, again, they've had a lot of different things going on up there, a lot of which I don't know about, but you can tell from the tape that, again, they're trying to find their identity and who's up and who's available and how they, you know, manage each week for what they have available. So, you know, they're starting to do a little bit more 2-back. They've been a little bit more 12 personnel, 11 personnel than they were a few years ago when, you know, I played them in 23. But again, like, Coach Norvell's, man, probably forgotten more offensive football than I'll ever know. I mean, he's a great coach, and he's got a great staff, and Coach Mummy as well, you know, like, has great knowledge. They're going to push the ball vertically down the field no matter who their quarterback is. That's what they want to do. You know, they're going to be physical in the run game. They got backs that run hard. So, yeah, we got to have a plan for both of them, and we got to show up with great fundamentals and great communication. Like, that doesn't change regardless of the plan, regardless of who the quarterback is.
What do you think about Jaden's ability to run your offense and trying to get to that next level of improvement for him?
Yeah, I mean, it's day one execution. I think his decision making has been solid. There's been moments where I think he's pressed a little bit. Obviously, the interception he'd love to have back. The first one where he was late down the middle, you know, that's a zone beater that they did a good job kind of breaking the tendency after an explosive play, and they pressured it and played man. So it's like him just knowing and understanding that I'm a pretty aggressive play caller, right? And so he doesn't need to be overly aggressive because I'm going to be, again, as we've discussed, default aggressive on it as well. So it wasn't the premium look. It's 1st and 10. You know, the play there is to throw it away, and we'll play 2nd and 10. But, again, he's managed it. He's done a good job. And, you know, we're just a tick off here or there. You know, like that deep ball, you know, he connects with Bostic early on. You know, it probably changes the course of the game, right? You know, so it's like, again, just – leaning back into the work and having that timing and the refinement of the craft so that we can maximize those opportunities when they present themselves and stop talking about how close we are and actually execute fully together so that we're not just one guy away, you know. And it's not just him. It's, you know, hey, like there was early on in the game, there was a hot adjustment that, you know, Mikey Welsh made. That Mikey read it great versus the internal pressure. We got 3 deep, 2 under, hot coverage. Mikey broke the leverage of the, you know, low flat defender, and so we got inside, and Kalen lost his block inside. So now instead of being in a clean pocket, right, like Jaden's got something in his face, and it, you know, deters the throw, so it's low and away, and everyone looks at that and like, the throw, and it's like, well, there's a, you know, 3 technique that just got cut loose. That's 315 pounds trying to rip his head off. Like, you stand in there and do that. You know, like, and that's just a part of the maturation of it, you know, and all of us working together. So we got to eliminate those one-off plays where, hey, 10 out of 11. Well, you know, this is a beautiful game. It requires all 11 on all plays for it to execute and for it to go.
What do you think you've learned about your team through the 4 games heading into conference play?
We're tough, man. Like, we're tough. We're resilient, and we continue to mature week in and week out. And I've said this about them going all the way back to January, you know, with winter conditioning and all throughout, like the emotional toughness and the mental toughness to respond when challenged. Like, this group has tremendous personal pride in their performance, and in an internal way, like respectfully, not the external noise, but to our standard when they don't measure up to our Aztec Warrior standard, right? That matters so much to them. Like, that personal pride in their performance to respond and to do it better is a great trait that this team has, and I think that's a winning trait that all good teams have that they've possessed. And because of that, like, they lean back into the work, right? Like, good, bad, ugly. It's like, all right, well, we're only as good as our last performance. So let's go step back in the arena. Let's go step back in the training dojo and get better at what we need to do. Like, let's go get back in the film session and get more dialed into the details of this so we can all be on the same page and, measure up so that whether it's within the program, right, like the offensive guys feel like they need to do more, carry more water, right, for the defensive guys. So that the defensive guys don't have to do it all on their own. But the defensive guys are like, hey, like, we got you. Like, we'll cover and move. Like, not a problem. Like, we got you because we know that you guys are going to get it right. And they're a connected group in that way. That's all around the ethos that they've created in this culture and in this building.
Lucky's been so productive. Do you see him getting in even greater workload, or do you still see yourselves breaking up a little bit?
So last year when Coop got all the work, I didn't manage it properly. Now we're managing the workload, and I'm not doing that properly. Is that the right?
That's what some people have said.
What are you saying? What's your question?
My question is, Lucky's been so productive. You
Yep.
see him getting more of the workload, or you still see yourself?
I think he's been very productive with the workload that he's gotten. And as we continue to move deeper into the season, we're going to continue to play the hot hand. Obviously, he finished in a very productive way. And I think his style leads to, as the game goes on, he's more of a body puncher than he is a haymaker, knockout artist right now, right? And so I think as he gets more, he becomes more productive, and we will continue to manage his load with the other loads of the other guys so that we can move through the whole season because I trust all the guys that are in that room, right? We're going to play the hot hand.
Some of it kind of wanting to throw a change up to it. You put somebody else in.
Yeah, I mean, they all have different skill sets, right? I think, it's the beauty of the guys that we have in that room, right? Especially between Christian and Lucky, right? Like, they're two different styles, right? Like, Lucky is a good one-cut, downhill, bruising runner, right? That shows up late in games and early in games, right? Like, where guys start making business decisions as he's coming down the tracks, like, do I really want this, right? And he embraces that. And then Christian is a completely different pace. Not that he's not a physical runner, right? But he's more of work on edges, one cut, and they both have, explosive ability to take it to the distance. But, like, me saying that is one thing. Them doing it and not letting shoestring tackles bring them down and create more and generate more explosive runs needs to start producing on tape as well.
As dominant as your defense has been, they've given up some really long opening drives. Is that just, it's only 2 games, so it's not that much of a worry, or is that something to pay attention to moving forward?
I mean, there's going to be, game plan adjustments that guys make. If we give up a long drive that concedes 3 points and then we don't give up any more points the rest of the day, if that's who we are, I think we're going to be okay.
Sam Benjamin had a really good game.
He did.
He, stepped up this season.
Yeah.
Talk about how, he talked off season about working on his strength and his speed. Is that something that's helped him out this year?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he was one of the award winners for player of the game, got a game ball. I think played his most consistent and most physical game. I think that's a testament to the work that he's put in the offseason. Again, Sam individually, really embodies our culture and our enthusiasm to go to work. Like, he's got infectious energy that, really rubs off on everyone in the building around him. He was a guy that this past year, there's only a few pockets in the year where, like, our guys are off, right? And, particularly over the summer where they have an extended break, like, Sam didn't leave. He's like, hey, like, this is important, right? And I need to get better. I need to work at X, Y, and Z, right? And so it's like, again, it's one thing to talk about it. It's something completely different to do it and to invest your time in it, right? And so he'd be here. He'd get keys to the equipment shed so he could work on his skills. And, again, like, it's – great things take time, individually and collectively, right? And he's been on a unique journey, the places that he's, transferred to and from. And at some point in time, he's been an offensive lineman. At some point in time, he's been a defensive lineman. And, right, but, like, finding who he truly is and stepping into his authentic self and the leadership with Coach Losey up front, like, it's fun. Like, we kind of share the walls here, and I can hear the energy that they have in their meeting while I'm with my guys in here. And, he's a guy that's always front and center. Him and Christian Clay, man, they've really elevated their game, and there's still so much more room for growth. But I was really pleased with the effort that the two of them both had.
You find the water here not as clear as in some places you moved?
No, this is just – that's some vitamins, guys. Some vitamins. You can tell I'm a little hoarse, right? Like, it's been a short week. So what? Now what? Like, better performance through chemistry here. It's my Hulk drink. Like the Space Jam, Bugs Bunny's got MJ's secret stuff. It's my secret stuff.
People look at that Sixth Street store and they go, but in your world as a head coach, what can you convey, what information can you tell people about just how difficult it is to win any kind of an FBS game anywhere?
I mean, look around the landscape of college football any single weekend, right? Like, it is hard to win, guys. And you have to have a humility and a hunger to go earn the right to call yourself a winner again. And so our kids have leaned into it, right? Like, yeah, there's not a whole lot of style points. We're going to look at that one, right, as a program and say, man, that was it. That was beautiful, right? But, I mean, when you look at it defensively, that's a work of art now. I mean, creating turnovers, getting stops, rallying, responding, playing physical. And then again, right, like there's so much, guys, that came out of that game that doesn't show up in the stat book. And that's the stuff that I care about, right? Like, the scoreboard's going to take care of itself. And I know we got to score more points, and I know we got to have more explosives, and that's going to come. Like, I get that. But again, like, I don't know what their overall win-loss record is at that place over the years, but that's a hard place to win now. That's a darn good program, right? Like, they have a section in their building called the Boneyard for all the P4 teams that they've beaten, right? And they do a good job making sure that as an opponent, like, you see all that stuff all the time, right? So, again, like, to go on the road, all right, and all the comparisons that have been made about last year and this year. Okay, well, we did that last year. We went on the road, really far away from home, had adversity in the travel, go into Mexican country, and we come up short. Okay, that's done. All right, well, we went on the road. We were met with adversity. The guys showed character. They showed resilience. They showed connection. They showed fight. They showed toughness. They showed love to finish together, and they found a way to win. Like, there was good energy on the boundary. There was good encouragement. There was good enthusiasm. 3-1 coming out of conference play. I think we all would have signed up for that at the start of the year. And again, as great as that is, it doesn't matter. We got to get better. Again, because we know what we signed up for. And I love our fans. They are fanatical, and I love them. I can't wait to see them on Friday show up and be fanatical for us and generate more, illegal procedures and false start penalties and all that they've done since day one, since we've been here, all right, and build off and be better from where we were last time against Cal, right? Like, cool. You guys got high standards for us? Awesome. I love it. I love it. I got high standards for our city, too. I need 1% of San Diego County to show up so we can sell out Snapdragon Stadium. I need 1% of San Diego County to show up so we can sell out Snapdragon Stadium. And then how cool is that environment going to be? How electric will that be for our kids? How much will that energy feed our kids and be an energy source to generate explosive plays, to strain, and then to make it so much more challenging and so much harder to win for a road team to come in? If 1% of San Diego County could show up and pack Snapdragon Stadium this Friday and cheer on their Aztecs, their only football team in town. How cool would that be? That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
Are you guys going to do something similar to the Cal game as far as getting out the
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to school again on Wednesday and Thursday. I'll be back in the classroom, back in the community in that regard. I can't wait to see where I get to go learn, spread some positivity. My guy Billy from Philly on campus at Broken Yoke is going to do some things. He's going to come with me. We're going to spread out some food and some cheer in that way as well. We got some things working in the community. Also, there's going to be some game day giveaways that are going on. So, yeah. I mean, we're going to double down our efforts. We're going to reinvest in it. Obviously, it was a positive net impact where we got over 31,000 tickets that were out. And, again, like, I can't wait for more to show up and show out and be a part of what we're doing and what we're building. And there'll be some other cool things that are going to be happening a little bit later as well that, will, I think, generate some buzz and some excitement also for this Friday night.